The question is, you're an Indian? Well, yes. But you're black? Yes. But you're an Indian? Yes. But, so, how much Indian blood do you have?
There are people who even ask me, are you Indian? You don't look like the Indians that I know. Well, okay, fine. I don't look like your stereotypical Indian that's riding on a horse with a bonnet in the plains, and I'm not from that anyway. Yes, I have many different cultures that are in my blood, but I was raised with the culture and values that come from here.
Our tribe is a family. We're all related, and that's part of what it is to be a tribe, an ancestral tie to this place.
Growing up in the inner city, I was either Spanish or I was African American. But my heart and the way I was taught was Wampanoag. This is who you are.
Yeah, they don't even think I'm Native American. They just think I'm white sometimes or Spanish or something like that.
They don't really think of like us being like Native Americans.
Nowadays, like, nobody's pure anything, really. You can't really find a lot of people are mixed, and I am too. So I'm with my Native American grandmother more than my African grandmother. So I believe that I'm Native American no matter what.
Sometimes they would ask me what I am, and they would answer before I could. And it's like, don't judge people.
A lot of the reflection in this world that I receive is that the Wampanoag people don't exist. For the most part, people say that because they've never known a Wampanoag person. They probably never even heard the word Wampanoag. They probably don't even know, even though they were taught about the Pilgrims and the Indians in school, that we were the nation that, helped the Pilgrims through that first winter. We have intermarried and we have mixed, and that doesn't negate anything that has been passed on to us as Wampanoag people.
He was Chappaquiddick.
This is my family tree. It goes from my grandfather, then it just breaks it all down from Deep Bottom to Chappaquiddick. Goes on to 1610.
Akiamu, who was the sachem of Nantucket in the 1640s on into the 1700s.
Tim's son is named that. Tim's nice. It's a nice name. I'm happy to see it there. I come from a black man who only had one name. His name was Peter. He was not a slave. He was a sea captain who had his own boat and was in the whaling industry. He married a native woman in Martha's Vineyard. My however many greats grandmother and that whole family line after them bears his single name as their last name. We as a people did stand behind freedmen and escaped slaves after the Dred Scott decision and put out a proclamation to let people know that they could find a safe refuge amongst our people.
Crispus Attucks, who was of Nauset Wampanoag lineage, was one of the original people killed in the Boston Massacre, the well-known Black Wampanoag.
The Mashpee Wampanoag in the late 17th and 18th centuries were known for being a kind of a haven for people of color of all different backgrounds. They were welcoming of outsiders because their definition of Indianness didn't have to do with color. It had to do with whether you were really a member of the community or not. So children who had mixed ancestry parents were fully welcomed into these communities. And this was something that was hard for whites to understand, that somebody from a very complex, racially mixed background could be fully Indian. That was a really hard concept for scholars to get their minds around.
Even if there's racial mixture, you can see the same face coming down generations. Even if the coloring is different or something, and you can if you know the people.
We have every color that you can imagine in our community. But what makes us Wampanoag is the fact that our relatives did carry on aspects of our culture. Now we have our language again. That increases the amount that we can show who we are.